Let me make something clear from the start. This world doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't pause because you're confused, overwhelmed, or tired. The game is being played whether you're ready or not. And in this world, there are only two choices. You grind, or you get grinded. You adapt, or you get buried. Let that sink in, because the most lethal skill you can ever possess is adaptability. Not charm, not talent, not even raw intelligence. It's the ability to evolve when the storm changes course, to move like water, to shift like shadows, to rewire your mind on command. If you're stuck, frozen in indecision, drowning in confusion, it's because you haven't learned how to study the battlefield. You haven't looked around. You haven't taken the time to observe who's winning and why. Because truth is, success leaves a bloody trail of clues. You just haven't trained your eyes to see it. Stop sitting in silence waiting for a sign. The sign is the system you're stuck in. The sign is the winners in front of your face. They're not magical. They're not special. They just adapted. They became creators in a world full of leeches. And that's the difference. There are only two sides to this coin: creators and consumers. Creators carve paths. They build structures. They set up systems. They use the pain, the pressure, and the setbacks as fuel. Every move they make is calculated. Every step they take builds a bridge toward opportunity. Consumers, they're the ones waiting for handouts. They feed on distractions. They devour entertainment, gossip, dopamine, and slowly, their soul begins to rot. They spend their lives sucking on the bottle of comfort, never realizing it's filled with poison. Because every second they spend consuming, someone else is creating. Someone else is moving the needle. Someone else is grinding and making sure they don't end up at the bottom with the rest of the sleepers. Here's the truth. Most won't say out loud. If you're not building something, you're being used by someone who is. If you're not writing the script, you're an extra in someone else's movie. This life isn't for the passive. The tides are rising. The weak get swept away. If you don't learn to pivot, to recreate yourself when the old version no longer serves you, then you become prey. And this world, it devours the passive. It grinds up the ones who hesitate. It pulverizes those who cling to what used to work instead of adapting to what does. So what do? You become a student of results. You stop listening to broke opinions. You stop getting advice from people who gave up on their dreams 10 years ago. You find what works in the real world, and you imitate, replicate, innovate. You become obsessed with mastery. You find your lane, and you build a damn freeway through it. You create content. You create value. You create systems. You create opportunity. Even if you're starting from nothing, you create, you fight, you adapt, and you rise. Because the moment you stop creating, the world starts feeding on you. The algorithms devour your time. The corporations drain your wallet. The distractions kill your drive. And you wake up one day realizing you've become part of the machine you were meant to outsmart. This is the war no one told you about. Not fought with weapons, but with attention, with action, with identity. Will you grind, or will you be grinded down into dust? There is no in-between. If you want to escape mediocrity, you have to become something the average mind can't even comprehend. You have to transform your pain into precision, your confusion into calculation, your consumption into creation. Let the others sleep. Let the others scroll, binge, waste, rot. But not you. You will adapt. You will create. You will dominate. Because this is your time. Grind. Or get grinded. Choose. Now. Let's be honest. This world is loud, screaming in your face from every direction. Algorithms are clawing at your attention. Fear is being sold in headlines, and everyone's trying to convince you that you're already too late. So what happens? You freeze. You want to grind. You want to rise. But everything feels so chaotic, so overwhelming, so fragmented. You don't know where to start, so you don't. But here's the brutal truth. Overwhelm is the price of living without clarity. And in a world this loud, clarity isn't something you find. It's something you build. It's forged in silence, structured with discipline, and sharpened through ruthless focus. So if you're tired of drifting, if you're sick of feeling like a ghost in someone else's machine, here's how to take your mind back and lock onto the target like a weapon forged for war. Step 1. Silence the noise. We live in the noisiest time in human history. Not the kind of noise you hear with your ears, but the kind that corrodes your soul one dopamine hit at a time. It's digital. It's mental. It's emotional. It's invisible. But it's everywhere. Every time you wake up, and the first thing you do is open your phone. Every time you scroll endlessly, feeding your brain crumbs of distraction. Every time you consume more content than you create, you're not just killing time. You're surrendering clarity. You're training your mind to be reactive, overstimulated, fragmented, weak. The system is built on distraction, designed to keep you addicted, not to information, but to noise. And when your mind is full of noise, you lose the ability to hear yourself, your instincts, your inner compass, your higher self. That whisper inside that knows exactly what you need to do gets drowned in the chaos of everyone else's agenda. So what do? You go silent, not for peace, not for comfort, but for war. You go silent to reclaim your edge. That means you unplug from the matrix, not just once a week, not just on Sundays, but with brutal regularity. You detox your mind the same way you detox a poisoned body. You starve the noise until your thoughts begin to settle. Here's how you begin. 1. Digital fasting. Start small. 1 hour with no phone. Then 3. Then a whole day. Delete the apps you mindlessly open without purpose. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in another room when you're working. Remember, every beep is a leash. Every ping is a trigger. Silence it. Second dopamine audit. What are you consuming every day? Are you watching things that sharpen your mind or dull it? Every source of input should be a blade, not a bandage. If it doesn't feed your purpose, it feeds your distraction. 3. Create a void. People are terrified of silence because silence forces you to face yourself. Do it anyway. Go for a walk with no music. Sit in a room and breathe. Journal your thoughts without editing. Let the discomfort speak. That's where the truth lives. 4. Own your morning. The first hour of your day is sacred. If you start your day in chaos, don't be surprised when your whole life feels disoriented. Before the world floods your brain, claim your mind. Meditate. Stretch. Write. Reflect. Do not consume before you create clarity. Silencing the noise isn't a cute habit. It's survival. It's the only way to separate your voice from the static. Because if you don't actively protect your mind, the world will overrun it. It doesn't take a monster to ruin your life. It takes a feed, an algorithm, a suggestion, a trend, and soon, you're not even you anymore. You're a puppet for profit, just another consumer in the machine. So when you feel lost, when the fog closes in, don't chase more answers. Don't look for another guru. Just go silent. Let the world scream. You sharpen your blade in the stillness. You cut through the chaos with presence. You return to the mission like a ghost in the shadows, focused, dangerous, undistracted. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is sacred. Silence is where warriors are reborn. This is where you start. Kill the noise and hear yourself again. Step 2. Name the chaos. You can't kill what you haven't identified. And most people are being crushed by an invisible weight, dragged underwater by nameless pressure, buried alive by undefined fear. That's the true cost of living in a distracted world. We feel everything, but understand nothing. We're anxious, but don't know why. Overwhelmed, but can't articulate by what. Stuck, but don't even know where we were headed in the first place. This is chaos. Not the loud, explosive kind, but the quiet kind. The kind that eats your clarity one foggy thought at a time. The kind that lets you exist, but never thrive. The kind that makes you forget you were ever at war. But now, we draw the line. Now, we confront the storm. Because until you name the chaos, it owns you. So what does this step look like? It's not motivational fluff. It's a ruthless breakdown. It's you sitting down. No distractions, no filters, no lies, and facing what's really going on inside that overloaded head. Begin with a dump. Grab a journal, a whiteboard, a piece of paper, and pour everything out. Every responsibility, every goal, every loose end, every pressure, every thought clawing at your peace of mind. Write it all. Don't edit. Don't organize. Just purge the mental storm onto the page. This is your chaos map. And now, it's real. No longer swirling aimlessly in your head. You can see it. You can name it. Divide and conquer. Once it's all out, begin sorting. What are you actually responsible for? Separate reality from illusion. Your mind will treat everything as urgent, but urgency is often a lie born from disorganization. What's in your control and what isn't? Many people drown in chaos trying to control things that don't belong to them. Other people's actions, the past, the future. You reclaim power when you release what's not yours to carry. What's emotional clutter? Some of the noise in your head isn't practical. It's emotional. Regret, guilt, self-doubt, fear. These are valid, but they need to be acknowledged and contained, not left to bleed into every decision you make. Target the tangle. Look for the items that feel heavy but undefined. Vague goals, fuzzy expectations, looming projects with no direction. These are mental black holes. They consume focus and give nothing back. Now you get specific. That business idea? Break it into steps. That fitness goal? Define what success looks like. That relationship stress? Ask yourself what boundary you need to set, or what truth you're avoiding. Clarity isn't about solving everything at once. It's about slicing the giant into pieces you can actually attack. Rank the enemies. You've mapped the battlefield. Now prioritize. What's bleeding you out the fastest? What's holding you back from your next level? What's keeping you up at night? Put it at the top. That's your main target. That's the dragon you slay first. Everything else gets demoted or delegated. Focus is war, and not every enemy deserves your sword. This is why it matters. If you don't name the chaos, if you don't give structure to the storm, It owns you forever. You'll keep reacting, keep circling, keep burning energy in every direction and getting nowhere. That's what the system wants you to do. They want you confused. They want you tangled. Because a confused mind doesn't build. It doesn't challenge. It doesn't rise. A confused mind consumes. It obeys. It settles. But that's not who you are. That's not who you're becoming. You are a builder, a strategist, a weapon forged in the fires of intentional thought. And naming your chaos? That's step one in turning it into a map, a blueprint, a plan of attack. So sit down, map it, rank it, name it. Only then do you begin the hunt. Only then do you start to win. You cannot conquer what you refuse to define. Name the chaos so you can end it. Step 3. Identify the painful truth. You've silenced the noise. You've named the chaos. Now it's time to face the part no one wants to admit. The real reason you're stuck is you, not your circumstances, not your past, not the algorithm, not the government. You. Let that sting. Let it hit you in the chest, like cold steel. Because clarity without truth is just a dressed-up delusion. And delusion is the deadliest drug in the world. It keeps people in motion, but going nowhere. It keeps them trying, but never becoming. So now, it's time to cut deeper. You must confront the brutal, raw, unfiltered truth about who you are, what you've been doing, and what you've been avoiding. Because truth doesn't care about your feelings, but it will set you free if you have the guts to face it. Ask the questions most avoid. This is where transformation begins. Not with a goal, not with a plan, but with a mirror. Why haven't I taken action yet? Be honest. Not poetic, not positive, just real. Is it fear, laziness, pride, entitlement, disbelief in yourself, a need for control disguised as planning? What am I pretending not to know? You know what's not working. You know what habits are killing you. You know which people are dragging you down. But pretending it's complicated lets you avoid responsibility. That ends here. What story am I telling myself? I'm not ready. I need more time. I'm too damaged. They're just lucky. Every excuse you cling to is a prison you built with your own hands. Identify the story. Then ask yourself, does this serve the person I'm becoming? If not, burn it. Break the addiction to comfort. Most people aren't stuck because they lack opportunity. They're stuck because they're addicted to comfort and terrified of change. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that drain, habits that kill, all because the unknown feels scarier than the slow death of routine. But here's the truth. Comfort is a coffin, and every time you choose ease over growth, you hammer another nail into it. So what are you clinging to for safety? What's familiar that needs to die for the new you to live? Let it go. Let it burn. Or stay buried beneath it forever. Acknowledge the cost of inaction. We love to fantasize about success, but rarely do we calculate the cost of staying the same. How much time have you lost hesitating? How many opportunities have slipped by while you were thinking about it? How many people have passed you by because they acted while you hesitated? That's the most painful truth of all. Every day you delay, you pay. Not in dollars, but in potential, power, and purpose. Inaction is expensive. It bankrupts your future while making you feel safe in the present. But there's nothing safe about watching your life decay while you pretend you're figuring it out. Understand this. Truth is not shame. This isn't about beating yourself up. It's not about drowning in guilt or regret. It's about reclaiming power. You are not broken. You are blindfolded. And truth is the knife that cuts the cloth from your eyes. It's not meant to hurt you. It's meant to wake you up. Because the truth is, you're capable of more. You've always been capable. But capability means nothing when buried under lies. So dig deep. This is your moment to stop pretending. Stop sugarcoating. Stop negotiating with the parts of you that are keeping you small. Call it out. Write it down. Say it out loud. I've been lazy. I've been scared. I've been blaming everyone but myself. Now, take a breath. Because this is the point of power. Not when everything is perfect. Not when the plan is finished. But when the truth is known. Because a man or woman who knows the truth is dangerous. They can't be manipulated. They can't be bought. They can't be stopped. So tell the truth. Stand in it. And from that fire, rise. Your future demands your honesty. So stop running from it. Turn and face it like a warrior. That's how you earn your next level. Step 4. Lock in on one target. You want clarity? Focus. You want results? Focus. You want peace in a world that profits off your chaos? Then you must lock in like your life depends on it. Because it does. Most people don't fail from lack of effort. They fail from trying to chase too many targets at once. A little of this, a little of that, dipping their toe into 1,000 different goals. But they never go deep, never go all in, never commit to one direction with ruthless intensity. They confuse motion for progress, activity for purpose, and wonder why they're exhausted, but still nowhere near their vision. This is the part where we kill that pattern. Because clarity without direction is just noise wrapped in good intentions. It's time to choose your target. 1. Single. Precise. The cost of scattered effort. Let's call it what it is. Multitasking is a lie. When you split your energy across 10 missions, none of them get the real you. Each gets a sliver, a fraction, a diluted version of your power. But the world doesn't reward half effort. It rewards obsession, laser focus, singular devotion. That's how empires are built. One arrow, one shot, straight to the heart. You need to ask yourself, right now, what is the single most important goal I must accomplish next? Not the most exciting, not the easiest, not the one that gets the most likes, the one that moves the needle, the one that, if achieved, would make everything else easier or irrelevant. That's your target. Now, everything else is noise. Choosing doesn't mean losing. This is where many people freeze. What if I pick the wrong goal? What if I miss out on something better? What if I'm not ready yet? What if? Let me be blunt. Indecision is the language of fear, and fear is the fastest path to nothing. Choosing a target doesn't mean you're locked in forever. It means you're locked in for now. Long enough to build momentum, extract results, and gain clarity through action. Remember this: progress reveals what planning never could. But you'll never discover the truth sitting on the fence of indecision. You have to leap, burn the bridge, and move. Become the hunter. Once you've chosen the target, you become the hunter. You stalk the mission, study it, eat it, breathe it, obsess over it. Wake up every day and ask, what is the single highest value move I can make today to hit this target? Not busy work, not filler tasks, not fake productivity. Real progress, real action, every damn day. And when distractions come, and they will, you don't flinch. You've trained your vision like a sniper. Tunnel vision on what matters. Tunnel vision on the one thing that changes everything. Design around the target. Your routines, your habits, your time, your space, your energy. All of it now gets structured around the target. This isn't about working harder. It's about working sharper, cleaner, smarter, more precise. If it doesn't serve the target, it gets cut. If it slows you down, it gets eliminated. If it weakens your edge, it's gone. This is war. And in war, every ounce of wasted energy is a liability. So streamline your life until it becomes a machine built to serve the mission. The power of completion. There is a dark, quiet confidence that comes from finishing. Not starting, not trying, but finishing. When you lock in on one target and see it through, you change. You stop being the person who dabbles and become the one who delivers. That's when clarity becomes a way of life, not just a moment of inspiration. And that's when momentum compounds. One victory stacks on another. Your vision sharpens. Your capacity grows. You stop being the person who questions themselves and become the one others can't ignore. Final word on step 4. This is where the drift ends. You are no longer the leaf tossed in the wind. You are the blade cutting through it. Lock in. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Now pick the target. Design around it. Move like a predator. Because until you focus your fire, you're just burning energy in every direction. In this world, it doesn't reward scattered effort. It rewards the one who commits. So commit, and never look back. Step 5. Adopt the creator identity. If you want to escape confusion, if you want to kill indecision, if you want to build a life worth remembering, you must make one of the most important shifts of your entire existence. You must stop living as a consumer and become a creator. Because those are the only two real roles in this world. And make no mistake, one is hunted, the other commands. One is drained, the other directs the flow. One survives off scraps, the other owns the pipeline. The truth about consumption. Look around you. Most people are drowning in input. They wake up and scroll. They fill their minds with other people's opinions, other people's wins, other people's noise. They consume motivational videos all day, but never do anything. They buy books they never read, courses they never finish, dreams they never build. They've become prisoners of the feed, plugged into a machine that feeds them just enough hope to keep them passive. And the irony? They think they're learning. They think they're preparing. But they're actually stalling. They're building castles in their mind and calling it growth. That's not growth. That's a slow, comfortable death. Because the more you consume without creating, the weaker your inner voice becomes. The dimmer your intuition gets. The harder it is to move with clarity and force. Creation is power. Creation isn't just about painting or posting. It's about taking energy and turning it into something tangible. It's about shaping your environment, rather than being shaped by it. You create when you build your business. You create when you plan your week with ruthless intent. You create when you write that sales page, record that podcast, build that offer, make that move. You create when you carve time into your calendar and say, "This is mine." And here's what happens when you truly become a creator. You move from survival to strategy, from reaction to control, from scattered to certain, from follower to force. The creator doesn't wait to be picked. They pick themselves. They don't scroll hoping to feel inspired. They take action and let inspiration catch up. This is identity work. This isn't just about doing creative tasks. It's about fully becoming the creator in every aspect of your life. When something goes wrong, don't react. Create a solution. When you're low on energy, don't escape. Create a new pattern. When you're feeling lost, don't beg for direction. Create a damn map. You are the author. You are the producer. You are the architect of your mental, spiritual, and financial reality. Nobody's coming to save you. But if you become a creator, you won't need saving. You'll be the one who builds the ladder, not waits for a hand. Starve the consumer. Feed the creator. This is a discipline. Replace scrolling with sketching. Replace binging with building. Replace doubting with doing. Replace watching others win with making your own move. Start small. One post, one email, one plan, one representative, one video, one conversation, one action that produces, one move that builds. Then do it again, and again, and again. Before you know it, you will start to see reality bending in your favor. Why? Because the universe doesn't respond to daydreamers. It responds to creators. Warning: the world will resist. Once you choose this path, prepare to be misunderstood. People will mock the way you move. They'll laugh at your first creations. They'll question your change. Why? Because your choice to create forces them to confront their choice to consume. And people hate mirrors. But that's not your concern. You didn't come here to blend in. You came here to build. The creator identity is freedom. Because when you become a creator, you stop being dependent. You stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop explaining. You just build. Silently. Relentlessly. Strategically. You use your energy to carve out space in this world. You make your name echo beyond today. You become the one others follow. Not because you sought fame, but because you embodied purpose. Final word on step 5. This is where the shift happens. From noise to voice, from chaos to creation, from helpless to dangerous. You are a creator, and every moment you act like one, you reclaim your mind, your power, and your future. So step up, create, and never ever go back. The consumer lives in reaction. The creator lives in clarity. Choose your side, and build like your life depends on it. Step 6. Structure your environment like a warrior. By now, you've silenced the noise. You've mapped your chaos. You've told yourself the truth. You've locked in on a single deadly target. You've stepped into the identity of a creator. Now it's time to forge the battlefield around you. Because the war for clarity isn't just fought in your mind. It's fought in your environment. And if your environment is sloppy, reactive, disorganized, or filled with comfort traps, your focus will die in the first round. This is where warriors separate from wanderers. A warrior doesn't leave the battlefield to chance. A warrior designs their surroundings to serve the mission. Everything in their world is either a tool or a threat. So here's the truth. If your environment isn't built for victory, it's engineered for failure. You either structure it with intention, or it structures you with distraction. Your environment is a mirror. You want to know what someone truly values? Look at their space. Look at their calendar. Look at their habits. Their setup will always betray their outcome. A desk cluttered with trash reveals a mind clouded with chaos. A home filled with screens and noise reveals a life built for avoidance. A schedule without boundaries reveals a person with no direction. You can lie to yourself all day with affirmations and motivational quotes. But your environment will always reflect the truth. It shows what you're really committed to. So if you want clarity to be more than a fleeting thought, you must build an ecosystem that protects it. Rebuild the battlefield. It starts with a purge. Physically, clean your space. Throw away what doesn't serve you. Burn the junk. Eliminate the clutter. Your external world bleeds into your internal one. Order creates order. Digitally, unsubscribe, unfollow, delete. Every app, page, or person that siphons your attention without providing value gets cut. The algorithm is a battlefield. You either master it or get devoured by it. Socially, audit your circle. Are they builders, creators, warriors, or are they complainers, addicts, excuse machines? Because energy is contagious, and entropy travels fast in weak company. Designed for execution, not excuses. Once the noise is gone, build systems that support your grind. Create a dedicated space for deep work. No distractions, no noise. This is your dojo, your war room. Build routines that lock you into flow. Morning rituals, focus sprints, evening resets. Use triggers. Set up cues that pull you into action. A certain playlist, a scent, a specific location. Automate the small stuff. Eliminate decision fatigue. Plan meals, workouts, deep work hours. Structure removes the need for motivation. Clarity becomes the default, not a rare moment of inspiration. Protect the gate. Warriors guard what enters their space. Your time, energy, and mental bandwidth are sacred resources. And every open loop, every favor, every quick chat is a potential breach. So you must become ruthless. Say no more. Turn off access. Leave unread. Cancel unnecessary commitments. Block out days for strategy, silence, and creation. Let others react to chaos. You'll be planning dominance. This is not about being cold. It's about being clear. Because the more clutter you allow in, the less space you leave for what actually matters. Discipline your time like a blade. Time is your most lethal weapon, or your greatest liability. If your days aren't mapped, someone else will map them for you. If your priorities aren't scheduled, distractions will hijack your hours. If you don't command your time, it will be stolen, and you won't even notice until it's gone. Structure isn't suffocation. It's freedom through design. A warrior doesn't ask, "Do I feel like working?" He asks, "What is scheduled?" And then he executes, regardless of emotion. Because discipline creates clarity, and clarity makes the mission inevitable. Let every object serve the mission. Look around you. Ask yourself, does this item, this habit, this system bring me closer to who I'm becoming? If the answer is no, cut it. Build an environment where every tool, every sound, every moment has a purpose. Your setup becomes sacred. Your rituals become invincible. Your world becomes a forge that tempers your spirit daily. This is how warriors are made. Not just by what they do, but by what they refuse to allow around them. Final word on step 6. This is where the inner work meets the outer world, where the vision stops living in your head and starts living in your space. Because success isn't born in chaos. It's born in control. Not control over others, not control over outcomes, but control over your time, your energy, your environment. So look around. Does your environment sharpen your edge, or does it dull your blade? You already know the answer. Now rebuild it. Every corner, every habit, every minute. You are no longer just surviving. You're structuring your life like a weapon. Sharpened, disciplined, ruthless. Because warriors don't wait for the world to bend to them. They design their domain to breed greatness, and they do it with precision. This is your forge. So build it like your future depends on it. Because it does. Step 7. Execute without emotion. This is it. The final threshold. The part that separates the daydreamers from the doers. The obsessed from the occasional. The warriors from the wounded. You've silenced the noise. You've named the chaos. You've faced the truth. You've locked in on your target. You've become a creator. You've structured your environment like a fortress. But none of that means anything if you don't execute. And not just when it feels good. Not just when motivation visits. Not when the stars align and the mood is right. You must learn to execute without emotion. With cold precision. With brutal consistency. With the discipline of someone who's burned their escape route. Your feelings are not the commander. Most people let their emotions sit in the driver's seat. They wake up and ask, "Do I feel like it today?" Let me give you the raw truth. Nobody cares how you feel. The market doesn't care. Your goals don't care. Your future doesn't care. And the war for your destiny certainly doesn't care. The people who win, the ones who rise above the fog and bend reality to their will, they act regardless. They don't consult their emotions. They consult the mission. They don't wait to feel ready. They prepare so thoroughly that readiness becomes irrelevant. Emotion is a trap, disguised as permission. I'm tired. I'm anxious. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. I just need a little break. These are the whispers of the grave. They sound reasonable, but they're designed to delay your destiny. Here's the truth. Emotion can be acknowledged, but it must never be obeyed. Because when emotion governs execution, what you get is inconsistency. And inconsistency is the graveyard of potential. So what do? You decide once, and then you act relentlessly. You don't make the same decision every day. You don't reopen the contract every morning. You commit, and let the commitment carry you through the chaos. Action becomes the ritual. Want to know how to kill hesitation? Make execution sacred. Not dramatic, not glamorous. Sacred. You wake up and you do the thing. You work the system. You check the box. You take the step. Whether it's content, outreach, workouts, deep work, study, networking, it doesn't matter. You move. Like it's your job. Like it's your calling. Like your soul is on the line. Because it is. The world has enough thinkers, enough feelers, enough planners and philosophers and perfectionists. What it lacks is executors. Those who do it anyway. Those who press forward when it hurts. Those who finish what others only fantasize about. Embrace monotony. Another trap is thinking that high-level success feels exciting all the time. It doesn't. In fact, the better you get, the more boring it becomes. Why? Because mastery is monotony repeated with excellence. Most people quit when the spark fades, when it stops being fun, when the adrenaline is gone and all that's left is grit. That's where you rise. You don't need a spark. You've built a fire inside. You don't need motivation. You've built momentum. You don't need novelty. You've built non-negotiables. This is the level where the emotional become spectators and the ruthless become legends. Detach from outcome. Marry the process. Emotion often arises from focusing too much on results. You're worried about how many likes, how many dollars, how many followers, how fast it's working. Kill that. The pros don't care about results in the beginning. They care about execution. They trust that consistency will break the dam eventually. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to keep swinging the axe, day after day, cut after cut, until the tree falls. Let the scoreboard take care of itself. Your job is to show up and strike. Build your identity through action. You want confidence? You want certainty? You want to look in the mirror and see a warrior staring back? Then earn it. Identity is not built through thoughts. It's built through repetition, through doing the hard thing over and over until it becomes who you are. Every time you execute, even when you don't feel like it, you're casting a vote. I am the kind of person who finishes. I am the kind of person who builds. I am the kind of person who does the work, no matter what. Stack enough of those votes, and you don't try to be disciplined anymore. You are. Final word on step 7. This is the ultimate clarity hack. You can't think your way into certainty. You act your way there. You move your way into momentum. Stop chasing feelings. Stop waiting for confidence. Stop negotiating with your lower self. Just move. Just build. Just do. And when your feelings scream, stop, you smile and go harder. Because you're not here to be pampered. You're here to be forged. And execution is the fire that sharpens you. You know what to do. Now do it. Without hesitation. Without emotion. Without mercy. This is how warriors rise. This is how clarity becomes a lifestyle. And this is how you dominate. Let's make this real. The world wants you confused. It wants you weak. It wants you consuming, drifting, doubting yourself, until you're just another ghost with a heartbeat. Alive, but not living. And most people, they give in. They drown in the noise. They spend their lives asking questions they already know the answers to. Too afraid to make the move that would change everything. But not you. You came here for war. You came here for clarity. You came here because something inside of you refuses to die quietly. So remember what we've built here. Step 1, silence the noise. Because until the chaos around you quiets, you'll never hear the voice within you. Step 2, name the chaos. You cannot defeat what you refuse to define. Drag the storm into the light and dissect it. Step 3, identify the painful truth. No more lies. No more masks. Power begins the moment you stop running from the truth. Step 4, lock in on one target. Scattered energy produces scattered results. Focus like a blade. Aim like your future depends on it, because it does. Step 5, adopt the creator identity. Stop watching. Start building. Step into the role of the one who produces outcomes, not excuses. Step 6, structure your environment. Like a warrior, your surroundings are either sharpening your edge or dulling your purpose. Build a battlefield that feeds your fire. Step 7, execute without emotion. When the emotions rise, you don't break. You move. You act. You deliver. With cold precision and unshakable discipline. These aren't just steps. They're weapons. And in your hands, they're deadly. To chaos, to confusion, to the old version of you that once hesitated, doubted, delayed. That version is done, buried, burned. Now what rises is something else, something focused, something dangerous, something clear. You don't need more inspiration. You don't need another plan. You don't need permission. You need execution. So get up, choose your target, build your world, and strike like a warrior forged in fire. Clarity belongs to the one who moves. So move, grind, and never look back.